So, Warpriest. This is the first major boss fight of the raid. It was the first one that will give you rewards from 3 of coins, so if you do have 3 coins, please make sure you pop them during this fight.
DJ, do you want to explain this from coming up here on platform?
Which platform are you at?
Warpriest platform.
Oh, yes, I will. Okay, so, Warpriest platform. Right over here. Alright, so this is the Warpriest arena. Warpriest comes out here. It sounds weird to have to explain it, but I have actually had to explain to people where Warpriest comes from. He comes from this area here because they often get surprised. We don't talk about the Black Orb. The Black Orb is special. On what we have here...
Let me demonstrate what the Black Orb does real quick. Hi guys. Bye guys.
Yeah, so don't jump at the Black Orb. So what we have in front of me, though, is you'll see that there are 3 pillars that are lit up with these little hive carvings on them. We call this... the major part of this fight involves... or the major part of getting up to where we can hurt the Warpriest involves these 3 pillars, but I will get to that in a second. You've seen some people jumping around on plates. These little plates here on the left, right, and on the upper left, mid right, and the lower center. They light up. But all 3 people have to be standing on them to start the fight. Once all 3 people stand on the plates, the Warpriest comes out and the encounter begins. At which point ads will begin to pour from here. The little doors down at the lower left and lower right. And then up there, or I'm sorry, right over here for the upper left. We will get inundated with all sorts of hive. In which case we will just basically focus on killing ads and avoiding the Warpriest, who is a giant knight with a boomer that will randomly target us and try shooting us. Use of cover is the key to survival in this fight. If you're running center, if you are the 2 people in the center, the best strategy that you 2 will ever have is one person stands back at this door, one person stands back where backspacer is, and you just kind of keep helping each other out, because you'll be able to shoot all the ads that appear down in that area. And I'm going over ads first before the boss, because ads will typically kill you real quick if you're not aware. If you are on the right-hand side, these stairs are your friend, because it gives you line of sight to all the enemies that are appearing over there where Hawks is at. Sometimes the enemies will jump down here, so it kind of gives you a place to back up to, get further away from them. And you can align yourself with all these columns so that if the Warpriest is firing, you're putting enough barriers between you and him. Now the left side, also where backspacer is as well, yes. Right over there. Now, if you are on the left side, here's a very important note. Do not spend all your time trying to jump up on pillars to get here and only find that you fell off, or trying to make that jump. Do yourself a favor if you're assigned to left plate. Come over to the right plate, run up the stairs, and jump over. And boom, look, you're at left plate, and you have all this amazing cover here. You have this pillar blocking it, you've got these pillars, and you've even got some lovely chest-high walls. I don't recommend using them, but if you are a fan of the perk Guerrilla Fighter, you can actually crouch and peer over the chest-high walls on the left side. Still be aware that the Warpriest's boomer does have a blast radius, so you may take residual damage from his shots. That's the ads. Now, after a period of time, yellow bar knights will come out. You will hear this roar. Each side needs to take down their yellow bar knight as quick as possible. More nuanced people more nuanced runners of this encounter will leave the middle knight up. Because if you're down in the middle and you use the strategy being backspacer demonstrated, where you're basically watching each other's backs from opposite ends of the hall, you're able to clear your ads pretty quick. The people on the left and right are going to have more trouble because their ads have more cover to dip behind. So we leave the middle knight up a little longer. We take him down last, just so the left and the right can give us their all clears. Once everyone's clear and all the yellow knights are dead, we get a message that says glyph sequence has started. That is where one person is assigned the role of, well, we'll just call them the rock reader, which is what Cheech in our SG&D team calls him. The rock reader needs to kind of know opposite directions, because we know this is left side, that's right side, this is middle. So the person who reads rocks will basically come down here to the center where I'm at, or some other location. I'm sure someone else will tell me is a good spot. And these rocks will then light up in a random order. It'll be the rock reader's job to say left plate, right plate, center plate, as they light up. At that time, as the rock reader is giving those call-outs, that person on that who's responsible for that side will then step on that plate. So if I called out left plate, which typically left plate is always first, that person then steps on. That then moves on to the right plate, and the right plate steps on, and then the center plate steps on, and that's where the magic begins. If you step on the plates out of order, you will get a message that says glyph sequence broken, and you have a few seconds to course correct and get it right. Once the third person has stepped onto the plate, they get this lovely red aura called the Aura of the Initiate. And anyone standing within the Aura of the Initiate can damage the Warpriest. But there's a catch. There's a counter, and on that counter is stacks. You get 5 stacks, counting down at 10 seconds. And I will go into that in a second. Once the aura holder has the aura, everyone gathers over here on the right plate first. We always use the right plate first for reasons that you will see, because the most amount of cover, and it is the easiest for everyone to get to for the first round. Everyone then gathers up in the aura. A Titan, me, will drop a weapons bubble in the back. Everyone will break out their snipers and proceed to just pour damage right into the Warpriest on his head, staggering him with high-powered snipers. If you do not stagger the Warpriest, he will continue bombing your team. At the same time, the person with the aura needs to be aware of the ads that are floating around, like the acolytes running around down here, because as that timer ticks down, you will lose your life. If the counter hits 0, you're dead. And then the aura ramp moves to another random individual, -1 stack. Recommended, if you were the person with the aura, just kind of sit here, watch the ads, watch your count, and as soon as you see it hit 3 seconds, or 4 if you're not too secure in your ability to hold the aura, don't hard scope, but once you hit 3 or 4 seconds, hard scope on an acolyte, kill it. I recommend also using a heavy machine gun, because a heavy machine gun will chew through the enemy in a matter of just a couple shots. That then resets your stack down, so every time you kill an ad, you lose a stack of damage. So that's why you want to take it down to like 2 or 3 seconds at the most, or at the least. Give the counts, give the team the stacks, and once you are completely out, the aura goes away, and the Warpriest gets really mad and summons the Oculus. When he summons the Oculus, everyone needs to be standing behind one of these pillars carved in runes. If you don't, you die. After he is finished, the pillar dissolves, which is now the new fun part of it, and everything resets. Everyone goes back to their sides, and we lather, rinse, repeat. For the second cycle, we gather up behind the middle pillar, and then if we have to run a third cycle, we just move to the middle again, because he typically dies by the 3rd round. Otherwise, you have a 4th shot, and everyone just gathers up right where Hawks is, or was, behind that 3rd pillar on the ground level, rather than everyone trying to jump up to the 3rd pillar on the left.
Yep. right where Loki's standing.
Yeah. Don't use a shotgun. Try not to use a weapon with Firefly on it, because every enemy you kill dissolves a stack. I don't know why you'd be using a shotgun in this fight. You want to really stick to a sniper, but I've had to explain that before. Don't use a shotgun on the ads if you're aura holder.
I would also like to make a addendum to the heavy machine gun. Hand cannon headshots of the Hawkmoon, Ias Luna, Finala's archetype will all kill any of the acolytes with one shot to the head.
That's a good point.
It's also it's a good option for if you're holding the brand.
So I think that explains the fight pretty well. Basically, every time we finish a damage round, if he's not dead, he's going to dissolve one of these pillars, and we basically reset. If he gets, I think, to below a third of his health, he then summons... No, it's if he dissolves 2 pillars. I can't remember if it's health-based or pillar-based, because we've never gotten that.
Pillar-based.
It's pillar-based, okay.
Pillar-based.
If he dissolves two of the pillars, Hive then become taken, and they all spawn on the plates. So, that's fun. As do the knights. And they're taken knights, so they spit fire too, so good job. So, let's go ahead and demonstrate this fight. Who wants to be on what side? Okay, so Mikey, Geek, you're good on left? Okay.
Backspacer and Hawks on right side, since they were already there, and then DJ and Loki will be in the middle.
Do you want to read rocks?
Yep. Yeah, I can read rocks this time.
Okay, so Loki's going to read rocks. Now, just as a random aside, yeah, Arctic, hard mode is a little trickier because every time he dissolves
after the fight.
After the fight. Sorry, I'll get into that after the fight. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, if we could get a right plate on.
Yes, please.
There we go.
There we go.
So I'm going to float up here. Left plate?
And left plate, please.
I'm going to float up here so people can see what the animation looks like. Oops. And you see the Warpriest does like a really unspectacular, he just kind of, there he is. So, this is the mid strat. You're probably going to just see it from me and Loki's perspective here. I'll grab the aura, since you're reading rocks, if I have to stand on plate.
Okay.
Lots of thrall. Now, in the mid, it is very important that you get all the thrall, because thrall like to wander. And the one thing that will ruin the mojo on the right side is when they have a thrall just kind of walk up and start hacking at them while they're focused on an acolyte or an adept. Right and left side will get adepts. So again, as we explained with the adepts in Aragos, there's an ogre. That was an ogre blast.
Yep.
And here's our yellow bar knights.
They are very quick. They're very quick to come out in the first round.
Yeah.
The next two rounds.
Okay.
Will be much.
Okay.
Slower.
Mid knights down. Middle knights down.
Sorry.
Left plate.
Left.
Oops, sorry.
Left. Center plate. Plate.
Nope. It's broken. It's broken. Okay. Left plate back on.
Mikey, can you step on it? There we go. Middle plate. Middle plate. Right plate. Right plate.
Okay,
weapons in the back.
Okay, that's weapons. Now tether. If you have hunters, you always want your hunters to tether the Warpriest. It happens.
You're good.
Now this is why Black Spindle comes in handy here, because if you keep continually hitting headshots, it resets itself. But again, not necessary for the fight. Always take a second, dip back into your weapons bubble, refresh that aura. No.
Nope. We only have 2 hunters.
So, and then if you run out of sniper, move to your heavy machine gun. And if you're done with that, move on to whatever primary you have. Just keep pouring damage in on him. Okay. Alright, so this is the immune section. We all kind of hide back here. Oh, and we're off. Everyone back. Everyone reset. Now, if you're in the middle, in second mode, you will get wizards and knights that will just happen to wander down randomly. So be aware that you're going to be dealing with more than thrall in the mid. But that's a benefit because that's one less wizard that left and right have to deal with. And left and right are in a very, especially right side right now, are in a very risky position. They no longer have the column to act as their main form of cover against the Warpriest. So what will typically happen is the left side will put the occasional shot into the Warpriest to distract him and go back to taking out their ads. It is again all about communication. You know, if right side says they're being bombed, left side will cover it. If left side has a knight drop down in the middle, they'll call out that the knight's dropped down and we'll take care of it. And you can see, let's see if we can get the shot. Chuck a grenade over there. I'm going to chuck a grenade over there. Hopefully that helps you guys. Nope, it hit Warpriest instead. Okay.
We can hear it. Yellow Knights.
Okay, let's leave mid up. So if you're running mid, just take him down to about a quarter of his health. There we go.
Stop.
Right? Okay. Oh,
Middle
there we go.
plate.
Middle plate. Middle's on.
Right plate. Right plate. Left plate. Left plate.
So now what's going to happen is everyone is going to go to the back here, pop weapons bubbles. I've just dropped mine as well. And we all start pouring damage on Warpriest again. So now Mikey's got the aura, lost the aura, he died. So someone's going to get it. So who got it? Alright. Do you have a countdown? Okay. Alright, so we're doing pretty well on him. Look at this health here. Switch that. And... boom, he's down. Now, let's go get some loot. From the Warpriest, you get the following items. You get... well, I got an antiquated rune. And moldering shards. Weird. Okay, you can get the raid rocket launcher, which we see Mr. Hawks has on. Elium's Frenzy. You get the raid machine gun, which I have equipped. Quillam's Terminus, and hands down one of the best heavy machine guns in the game. And you also get the sniper rifle, the Defiance of Yasmin, one of the more popular lower impact sniper rifles in the game. But you have a chance of one of three of those in this particular drop.
If you want to show each of them, Loki has Defiance of Yasmin.
Oh, let's see here. Where is Loki? Where is Loki? There you are. And if you want to switch to it real quick.
It's already...
oh, that's the Hero Columns. Hang on here. I'll just inspect.
I thought you were going to look at it on my back or something.
There it is. Defiance of Yasmin. This is the awesome little sniper that you get. Now, one thing I'd like to point out real quick before we move on. The reason these raid weapons are really interesting is because they all contain this perk called Cocoon, which means that when you stow your weapon for a short time, it automatically reloads, about after 10 seconds typically. That is amazing for rocket launchers and the heavy machine gun and the sniper. All of the raid weapons reload very... Yes, there is a click. I believe it's a click. Yeah.
It's a very subtle click. You have to be listening very closely. And if you have any voices going on at the time, you won't hear it click either. It's very soft.
But there's a reason that some of these raid weapons you'll still see used in Crucible and whatnot, and that is because of the Cocoon perk. As we were going to say, the difference in Warpriest on hard mode is as he dissolves each of the pillars, he gains a special power from one of the normal types of ads that we fight. When he dissolved the right pillar, he would get those blinding blasts that the Taken captains have. If he dissolves the middle pillar, he gets the tracking retaliation shots from the hobgoblins. And if you dissolve the left one, he shoots the tracking instant kill you Axion darts of the Taken Centurion. So that's why we hardly ever go left, just because it's also easier for everything to go right or center for damage phases. So, but and then challenge mode for Warpriest, which was last week, is no one can hold the aura twice. So If, say, Mikey had it and died, and Backspacer had it originally, and it passed the Backspacer, we would have failed the challenge.
Yep.
Everyone has to only hold it once. That said, let's
You can
have...
only hold it once.
You can